Hi everyone, it's Minna here. It's the 23rd of October 2024. It's Wednesday, and today I feel called to share about a little practice that I do to kind of transmute the pain, the frustration, the when I get triggered by something, like how do I get into the wound, and how do I release whatever is there, the scabby part, so that I can then arise and allow my life force to start presenting itself in this world more confidently. So the inspiration for doing this video has to do with the astrological times at the moment. I'm a part of a women's circle that meets weekly, and each week we travel with a certain topic. And this week I was gifted the opportunity to present a topic for us to journey with. And um, many of the women or that I know, not just women, are really feeling sensitive, and there's a lot of anger, frustration, rage, and like dealing with scarcity consciousness and like not feeling enough, self-worth stuff. So this stuff is like feeling very strong at the moment, and in the collective. And I had this insight to work with the current astrological energies to help us like go deep and hold space for ourselves to meet whatever it is that is ready to be released, and to come to light now. So the astrology, I'm not an astrologer, by the way. So maybe if you're listening to this and you know about astrology, there might be some well, I guess it's also like a matter of everyone can interpret the information as they see fit for their own process. So I'm just sharing my interpretation. So we're now in the season of Scorpio, the astrological sign of Scorpio. And the Scorpio energy, many people usually like, oh, scary, uh, poisonous, aggressive sting. But actually, like, I had a quick look at Google, and what resonated for me was this kind of like laser sharp precision and determination to dive deep and look into the core of what things are, and about going into the darkness, into the underworld. It's a very shamanic kind of transmutational kind of energy to work with, death, rebirth, and also the kind of like the phoenix rising from the ashes can be associated with the same kind of energy. So now is a great opportunity to dive down and see what is hidden there in the dark. There's an astrological situation up there, or down there, wherever it is. I don't know where it is, but from where we are on Earth, at the moment, Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn, and it's I guess usually around 15 years, or I don't know how long, but it's a long time when Pluto as a planet is in one sign. So it's now in the very end of its time in the sign of Capricorn, and around, I think it's the 19th of November, it's going to be moving into the sign of Aquarius. So Capricorn is kind of a mystical creature with a head of a goat and the tail of a fish. Um, it's associated with authority, control, uh, can be judgmental, like in its shadow aspects. Um, it's ruled by the planet of Saturn, which has to do with money and time. So yeah, maybe you might be feeling these kind of energies in your awareness, or see them around you. And Pluto actually, as a planet who's now in Capricorn, represents the I think it's Hades in the Greek mythology, but it represents like mortality and abundance, riches. So and that which is he's also the king of the underworld. So this underworld kind of energy is a theme, you know, like what's happening in our subconscious in relationship to money, time, authority, control. And this Pluto is moving into the sign of Aquarius, which represents community, unity, uh, technological development, you know, forward moving expansion. So in this energy now, there's an opportunity to explore what are our limiting beliefs that are holding us back in our underworld. And I see the Scorpio is also associated with passion. And for me, passion is like it represents the life force within us. And for so long, we've had these systems in place that have really squashed our individuality, our life force, the feminine Shakti energy, our creative energy, by trying to dominate, you know, like tell us what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is not, how we should think, how we should do, and all of that is kind of like at a astrologically metaphorical symbolic level. It's like it's breaking. We're beginning to see that it doesn't work, and that actually we need to reactivate our inner passion, our life force, so that we can like create the solutions that we need, because the control system, it has like created so much destruction in the world, and also within like the human psyche. You know, how many people are unwell now? It's because of that external control system, because we've lost our connection to our own truth, what is our, and the nature, the feminine part of us. So now is an opportunity to like, oh, ride this wave, and like get to the root of things, and bring to the light the lies, the falsehoods, the stories that we had believed that keep us small, that keep us afraid, that keep our life force energy, our passion kind of like under lid. And that is often like those stories, they uh, we have, you know, had to feel safe, we've had to kind of like uh, play small so that the authoritarian system would accept us. But in the process, like there's a lot of like the 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 fire is kind of burning inside. That passion is like, wow, I need to come out, I want to come out, you know, let me out. So there's like this frustration and this rage against like the control and the judgment and all of that. But when we do it from that kind of like raging space, we're actually just creating more destruction and war and judgment, and the negative energy is just flying around like in so many directions. So how can we invite, you know, a more kind of like a beautiful, gentle, loving way to transmute these, get rid of these lies, so that we can actually like make space for like living well, peacefully, beautifully, harmoniously, creatively, abundantly. So shadow work, sign of Scorpio, great time to do shadow work. And there's a lot of us, there's a lot of fear associated with shadow work, or not really understanding what is shadow work. It's easy to like think you're doing shadow work, but you're actually feeding the shadow uh, by trying to fix it, you know, like dig in, like, and start to get super analytical about all your problems and everyone else's problems. Then you're just kind of like, even you just got kind of sidetracked. That's not really shadow work. So I the shadow work that works is the one that, where you bring the love, the light and the love into the container, so that it can be transmuted and brought forward as a more coherent kind of like loving energy and contribution to the world. So how can this be done? It's not done at a mental level. So usually when we get triggered and upset about something, the first reaction might be like to start blaming, like finding out the reason, like why do I feel this way, what is the problem, and then start to either like blame or judge others, perhaps even ourselves, like, oh, I should do this, that, to avoid this kind of conflict, or we might um sorry, I just need to relax. It's like really intense talking about about all these energies. uh so yeah, it's important to come into like a peaceful, loving space as well. When we're in that triggered situation, our mind, which is kind of like a reflection of that control system, authority system that we have learned, we have taken in. So the mind starts to try to fix and control the situation. Actually, the way to transmute and change the programming to get rid of that sore wound that is causing a lot of chaos around, uh, is to bypass the mind and come into the body and into the feelings. Because when the mind gets involved, it just creates more conflict, more chaos, more war, more arguments, more greed, more competition, and all of that, which we've come to see already that really is not leading us to a better place. So how do we do it if we want to get to a better place during these times when it's like so intense and like there's so much like fear and scarcity and all of that? So what we can do is make a really conscious choice that, okay, next time I get triggered, I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to use this Scorpio laser sharp energy to like divert my attention to myself and healing this thing that is now presenting itself. So make space for yourself. Go outside for a walk, or inside your wherever you are. If you have a space for yourself to light a candle, invoke, the your spiritual support, what in whatever form it is. And if you don't have spiritual support, maybe you've had a pet or like some friend or someone. At some point, you can energetically, invite that energy to be present to support you. And take a breath, shake off, acknowledge, okay, there's like all kinds of energies here that are not mine. I'm going to create some space for me to delve into my own process. Please, no one disturb me. I'm unavailable for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or maybe even 2 minutes. Usually it doesn't take that long when you get good at doing this practice. So there's this thing that is bugging you, bothering you, challenging you, and or immobilizing you, and you bring it to your awareness. When you invoke your guidance and all of that, make sure to invoke also some kind of gentle maternal kind of energy. Not all of us have had uh, beautiful experiences with our mothers being available for us when we are emotionally feeling challenged, or anyone for that matter. Usually we've just been told, oh, don't feel that, don't say that, whatever. So but if we can invoke like something that represents that, like at a spiritual level, this kind of feminine, maternal, loving, embracing energy, invoke that. For me at the moment, I'm working with the energy of the rose, because that's for me, maybe because it's not connected with a human being, it's easier to like open myself to allowing myself to feel in my body what it feels like to be embraced by the rose. You see how it relaxes my body, it opens my heart. It makes me allowing and makes me more receptive. So invoke that kind of an energy. Invite it, even if you can't feel it in the moment when you're feeling frustrated. Choose to practice it, and then allow yourself to name what is the thing that is like challenging you at the moment. Take a hold of yourself, give yourself a hug, maybe like rock your body, keep the body moving, because all of that information, that coding, that programming, those stories from the past or from things that you've carried from your ancestors or past lives, they're all lodged there in the body. And the more you can like kind of move, then you are kind of like giving space for it to be released. And you might feel like tension or shivering or full body chills, or tears may come. You might come like tears that you've never known, that like without any effort, or pain, even just like streaming, like you might feel super neutral in a way, but the tears are coming out. And or you might yawn. Just welcome all of that. That's your body releasing something, and you don't need to know actually what's releasing. Sometimes it's actually better not to know. So you might get those glimpses, those stories, something that someone told you sometime. When it's like, when it's being released, you see it. It's kind of like if you got food poisoning, when you vomit, you're going to see the bits of tomato and whatnot you ate. So it's kind of like the same thing. So better not to like, try to eat it back in. Just like, oh, interesting. Thank you. You can go now. I don't need you anymore. And then just keep moving. And then at some point you realize that, okay, I don't feel so bad anymore. I'm starting to like come back into the present. I'm no longer in this kind of tunnel vision where I can't think of anything else except for that problem. So you're out of that now. And take some time to look around, get back present into the world and realize that, hey, I'm here in this world, I'm in this space. And allow yourself to kind of like scan around, without getting fixated on anything. And maybe at some point, your eyes will land on something that looks beautiful. And just allow yourself to like pause there, just like be for a little while, breathing, just being, and connecting with whatever it is that you're looking at. It might be something beautiful that you see, and just connect with it, and allow yourself to appreciate it, appreciate the beauty of what you're seeing, and perhaps thank it, say, oh, I love these colors, or I love this, the shape of that, or I love how it's like fitting in here with that and that. And just getting into that, cultivating a bit of that appreciation, and also perhaps even opening to allowing, like, oh, what if I allow that thing to experience me? Can I allow it to see me as I am right now, super vulnerable after that purge, that release? I'm sighing, releasing something as I'm talking. And so acknowledge that, validate that, give thanks, say thank you for witnessing my experience. Thank you for being present. And thank your guides, thank the maternal energy, thank your protectors, thank yourself for taking the time, thank whoever or whatever triggered you, because it made you help get rid of whatever it is you got rid of. So many things to be grateful for. And to really like anchor and integrate the experience, share it. Share your insight just with a few words. You might want to put a few lines, words in the comments of this video, or if you have a trusted friend, you can share it with them. But make sure to say like, oh, I had the most amazing experience today that I da, 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 da. Because there's, if you're anything like what I've been like as a people pleaser, and like wanting to fix the world, it's easy to slip into this thing like, oh my god, I had the most amazing like insight, and then to use that to give advice to others. So that is actually giving unconsented advice and is a boundary violation. So if we want to be respectful to others and to ourselves, it's good to share our story, but not in the space of like giving advice that, oh, this is what works for me, or this is what I realized. And then that person will then have to go through their process. It might trigger them when you share your thing. They might get like, oh no, but that's okay. Let them then go and have their process. So yes, now is a good time. If you're watching this video sometime in the future when this time has passed, no problem. Maybe some of these techniques that I shared here can help you as well, because they're timeless, and our life is a constant journey with all kinds of challenges. So yeah, hopefully, yeah. And every one of us have our own ways and our own tools and all, but perhaps this can be inspiring for you. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of this community that is working on bringing more peace and happiness and love and acceptance into this world. Together we're learning how to get out of this mind controlled way of living and more into our heart, into our feeling, into allowing, learning first by embracing ourselves and our getting to know ourselves and our wounding and our vulnerability, learning how to hold space for ourselves, and then we're able to hold space for others better as well. So thank you for the work that you're doing in your life. So sacred, so valuable, and we're doing a great job. These are not easy times. This is not an easy job to do, but we're showing up, and that's the most important thing, and it's super valuable. So thank you for that, and let's keep bringing more happiness and joy to each other's lives as we journey together through this mysterious, interesting process that is called life. Bye.